There we
Ain't
go.
no man, ain't no real man to a woman that he's pursuing on a first date or really any amount of time is going to ask her what's your body count, because he's not
No,
going to give a
actually,
fuck. It
But you'll
don't.
actually,
hear black women talk like this, and they'll be real confident being in public, being real ignorant. Why would you want to know how many people I've slept with? Well, I want to know if I'm throwing my hot dog down a hallway. Why wouldn't I want to know how many people done jumped on you and treated you like a human trampoline?
Welcome back to the channel. DonLexy here with another reaction. Tommy Sotomayor. Tommy has audiences all over YouTube asking for him to continue to show up to these panels because he's cooking women left and right. Tommy was debating with a belligerent woman about body count, and it got interesting. And I want you guys to pay attention to how she was behaving as Tommy started to cook her up. Hit the subscribe button, also with the notification bell. Let's not waste 1 minute.
know that woman hasn't slept around with everybody.
Nah, I feel like ain't no real man.
There we
Ain't
go.
no man. Ain't no real man. Let's just make that plain clear.
Oh,
Look at
God.
God.
Oh, look at
And
that.
I
Because
think
I'm talking
I
about
think the
to a woman that he's pursuing on a first date or really any amount of time is going to ask her what's your body count, because he's not
No,
going to give a fuck. It don't have anything to do with how far a relationship can prosper based on someone's body count. But I'm not gonna. But I'm also not going to over articulate and over possess all this passion on this quote unquote one thing of a body count, because I don't think it's that deep.
Don't be ridiculous.
Every time a man tries to have a standard in the dating market, shame has to be associated with it. She's saying you're not a real man if you pay attention to a woman's body count. That's like saying that a man isn't a real man for caring about if he's dealing with a woman who's valuable or not.
I could sit here and argue for like 10 minutes about this, but I'm not going to waste my time because I just know that I'm right.
With the whole real man conversation, right? If we look back in the past, we can argue that the men back in the past were way more manly and masculine than we are today. The men of the past, when they got into relationships with women or started courting women or pursuing women, there was an expectation that woman didn't have a body count. So they didn't even have to inquire about that because it was assumed that you didn't have a body count. And in this day and age, you're talking about a man today ain't gonna ask a woman that. Yeah, a man today ain't gonna ask a woman that because most of these niggas out here ain't hitting on 2 damn cents. They don't give a shit how many people you've screwed. In fact, they're hoping that you screwed a lot of people because that would give them a better shot to screw you on the first night. And right now what's going on with women is women don't want men asking about body count because they know it's wrong and they don't want to be embarrassed to have to admit how many dudes they done laid up with before they got married.
the words out my mouth.
He cooking.
That's the reality.
But Angry, let me say this: if a woman by the time she reached the age 30 and she only slept with 5 people, and a man that's potentially pursuing asks her the number, I think she'll be proud to say, "Hey, I'm 30 or whatever. I only slept with 4 or 5 people." That would be a number that she would have no problem saying because it's a relatively no number. It's reasonable. It's respectable. From what I've seen in my personal life, numbers, and this has nothing to do you and I, numbers that are kind of in that area where it's make the man look like, oh, nah, I ain't about to invest all this in you. I think that we don't want to have that conversation.
That's very profound as well, because when a woman only has a small body count, she'll tell you the number really quick. There won't be any like prolonged type of situation where she's sort of hesitant. She won't ask you, why are you asking her that? There won't be any preamble. She'll just tell you the number because it's a good number. But when it's a bad number, there'll be some type of long, drawn-out conversation or some sort of interference. Let's get back into it.
Yeah, I don't think it's no harm in asking.
I don't think she have a problem saying the number.
I agree with you. And if I sound really like I'm talking hella loud, it's because I got my cancellation
You're
headphones
good.
on. And
No,
I
you're
like to
good.
hear myself when I talk.
You're good.
What they're trying to do is they're just trying to say this, right? You would ask a man for his job, and if that man said he had 10 jobs on the last 2 years, you would find it weird. You would be like, oh, I don't know about this.
No, I think no, let's scratch
So
that. I'm saying let me also clarify because I'm also answering and my comment was based off this specific thing.
No, yeah, go ahead.
There's no harm in asking a person what's their body count. If someone wants to ask me what's my body count right now, depending on who it was, if I'm in a relationship with them, I would tell them.
Flag on the play. Wait a second. If you're in a relationship with them, we're not going to get in a relationship with you if we don't know what your body count is or have some sort of general idea of what it could be. You picture a scenario where you've already gotten a relationship and the guy doesn't know anything intimate about you, which is not how it works.
What is it with you anyway? Somebody drop you on your fucking head?
A first date, I think if that's what you asking me on the first date of us first talking, first meeting, first hanging out and getting to know one another, if you ask me what's my body count on the first date, I just feel like, yes, that is weird.
Halfway. Take a few steps back.
Because what are you focused on?
Be taking you serious.
Yeah.
Taking you serious. Taking you.
That's the right response. The fellas on the panel says, taking you serious, which is a very short answer that pretty much sums up what she's looking for. Let's see how she responds.
So a person's gonna take me serious.
The time he's gonna invest in you.
If Batty just told you earlier, if you were listening, if he's on demon time and want to have sex, he don't care about who you have sex with, how many people you have sex with. And are you listening? Like, God, we tell you our secrets, we tell you man code, and you go, oh, it's weird if he asks about a body count. When it actually shows if a man comes out his mouth, hey man, how many people you dealt with? He actually has interest in you.
What's ironic about this is that this is how women in general are processing RP content, dating and relationship conversations. Men are basically giving them everything they've ever wanted to know about what men are feeling, truly feeling about dating and relationships. And now women are saying, nah, I don't want to hear that. Why are you guys saying that? Why are you asking women what do they bring to the table? Why are you saying that women need to be fit? Why are you talking about who's marriageable and who isn't? And it's like, this is the information you women need to know to do better. Yet all women want to do is say, stop having that conversation.
Yes. So what
how is it weird if the two of you first met and you're trying to get to know each other and he's basically just asking you questions about, like, because for me, in my opinion, if you're not ashamed to screw a bunch of people outside of wedlock, you shouldn't be ashamed to tell people how many people you screwed outside of wedlock.
I feel like there's a different way you can rephrase that.
If the question has to be rephrased, then that means it's a question that women find uncomfortable. If women find it uncomfortable, then that means on some level women understand that their body count matters. No matter what she says, she's going to end up in so many words proving Angry Man or any of these other people's points on the panel. Let's get back into it.
To hear me out. If a guy straight up and says, what's your body count? Like, you gonna have to take another stand and be like, what? And they say, how many relationships have you been in? How many relationships? You know, it's just a different way that you ask what you want to know.
Relationship, one second. I just want to clarify this so we can have an honest conversation, right? And then Ali, Tommy, Angry Man can go. Women don't ask, hey, Tommy, how much money do you make? They ask your profession. And if you say, I'm an orthoped, whatever the L is, you Google it. How much does a doctor that works on this with this amount of years gets? And you go ahead and you kind of see, oh, he gets between 150 to 200. I got it. Right. Men are not going to ask your body count. Men are going to ask how many boyfriends, for how many years you've been single. Yep. Before the pandemic, you've been single since 2018.
And let me add something else onto that. The other thing that we use to sort of get some sort of rough calculation of what your body count could be is the talk that people talk about you around the community. What people have to say about you, your reputation in general. All that has to happen is that a few men of status say that you're a bust down, and they continue to say the same stories, and then there's correlations between the stories, and then lower level men get a hold of those stories, and then there goes your reputation. And it wouldn't even matter if maybe those bad stories were only 6 guys in one little hot girl week you had. You could be deemed a 304 in your community for the rest of your life.
let me say this. Let me say this one last thing. Let me say this one last thing.
And then now Anaya.
It's Anaya.
This is Ali's fault. So respectfully, right? Women just don't like to get straight up question about body count, but men will find a way to circumvent the how many bodies you have and ask 7 qualifying questions to kind of see if you've been outside or not. And if they can get it, they get it. If they don't, they don't.
So hold on, Anaya, slow down. Anaya, slow down. If I slept with all the women on this panel, would it increase my value or lower my value?
Lower.
Listen,
increase.
He's a man. Can you answer it, please? To society and the women and men on the panel,
Somebody
if I slept with all of you, would it increase my value or lower my value?
Who knows this information? Is this just public knowledge?
Okay.
You slept with everyone on this panel.
So Anaya, I will say this: if I slept with all of you, it would increase my value to men and women. If you slept with all the men, it would decrease your value to men and women. If you saw me walk outside this building with 20 women on my arms, you'd be like, damn, who was that? If a man saw you walking out, all women with 20 men on your arms, they go, ooh, that's a jump off. Our value is deemed different, and there's double standards. I'm not expecting you to protect.
Yes, there is double standards,
provide,
for sure.
But your lower count will determine whether I want to protect and provide for you.
Let's get Angry Man and Tommy over here, and then I need to bring up Teriim, so he wants to say something. Go ahead, Angry Man, and then Tommy and interrupt you, please. Go ahead.
What Ali is saying is 100% correct. A woman with 100 men is a 0, but a man with 100 women is a hero at the end of the day. The thing that I can't understand is how can a person who has chosen to operate in a disrespectful way expect respect? Like if you're already disrespecting yourself, because the way it works is when men and women are born, right? Men are born at the bottom of the mountain. Our job is to climb up the mountain. We have to achieve shit. Women are born at the top of the mountain. Your job is to stay at the top of the mountain. Every time you sleep with someone who is not a husband and you just sleeping around, you come further down that mountain. And a lot of y'all are meeting dudes halfway down the damn mountain. And that's why you keep catching hell when it comes to relationships. Now, the thing that Ali said that I disagree with, it's not that they're choosing to be single. They don't know how to be in relationships. They don't know how to spot a good man from a bad man. The man that cares about how many people you slept with is the good dude.
Come on.
The dude that doesn't care is the bad dude. It's simple.
Every time that one of the men in the panel start to get into a deep, preamble about whatever that they have to say, or they start to get into a speech, she tries to intentionally shift her attention elsewhere. A very dismissive body language tactic to try to dismiss the men who are trying to help her learn about men. It's almost like she's acting as if she's being attacked because men are trying to help her understand them. This is so reflective of how all podcasts, when it comes to RP content and dating and relationships, are being treated. Women are stepping up and coming to the conversation and having opinions, but they're really not listening at the end of the day. Let's get back into it.
I just asked my wife, and she said most women.
Tommy, go ahead, and then we get too real and interrupted. Go ahead.
Me or the other one?
There's only one Tommy on the panel.
Oh, I did.
Tommy.
He was talking, and his name is Thomas.
What, Tommy?
Hey, is your name Tom? Is your name Thomas too? That's crazy.
Yeah.
Hi, Thomas. How you doing?
All right. Sir? I'm doing all right. Look, I tell you what, and there's no offense to anybody, y'all know I just talk kind of plainly. A lot of times the biggest problem, especially in the black community, black women got too much voice, got too much mouth. And the fact that you let them speak and we think that they'll be saying things and won't even know what the word means or say the word wrong and just be talking and seeking words and saying, well, it's the way that you said it. Well, you got to understand, a real man So when a woman can tell you what a real man is, that is a problem. Because usually when she say what a real man is, it's always somebody that accepts her shit and won't question her shit. It's always a real man for that one. A real man will get with a woman who has kids. She's looking down. Haven't y'all heard that? How many of y'all black men heard that? A real man will be with a woman that's got kids. Who says that? A bitch with kids.
I said the same
thing, Tommy. A real man should get with somebody got AIDS if you're real. It's really stupid. But you'll hear black women talk like this, and they'll be real confident being in public, being real ignorant. Why would you want to know how many people I've slept with? Well, I want to know if I'm throwing my hot dog down a hallway. Why wouldn't I want to know how many people done jumped on you and treated you like a human trampoline?
She knows that she's being cooked right now, so what she's trying to do is she's trying to act as if she's paying attention to somebody. But notice that she keeps glancing back into the conversation periodically, because Tommy Sotomayor is pretty provoking at this point, and this is what has made him popular when he gets into these rants. Watch out, because this is literally why this man has gone viral, and they tried to chase him off the internet the first time.
The stupidest thing I've ever heard. Why do you care if you like me? I don't know you. You know why we on this first date, lady? Because you had a fat ass and titties, and I said, let me get your number. I didn't know a damn thing about you. Didn't know your last name. Probably didn't remember it unless I put it in my damn phone. And usually, nigga, y'all tell me if I'm wrong. When I put your name in my phone, it's Big Booty Betty. I met at the motherfucking Publix. That's how I labeled your ass. So for you to sit there and tell that motherfucking lie that I'm supposed to be trying to get to know anything else, no, I need to know if I'm serious about fucking Big Booty Betty.
Haven't you noticed that the woman who bros the bad talking points, now all of a sudden she's the person who's mainly distracted, and she's the least interested in trying to be corrected? I think this is a glaring piece of symbolism if we all just pay attention to this really quick. Because like I've been saying, in totality, this is the way all the women in the community have been dealing with the conversation. Remember, we just covered the video on Kendra G yesterday, where she's talking about a whole bunch of like belief systems and talking points that she's saying that the opposition of her has to say, that they don't even have to say, which is proof that she's in the conversation, but she's not listening. Like, this is what happens when you have conversations with men and you've already convinced yourself from the start that you're against them and you're going to disagree no matter what. And you're not here to listen to a black man. But I'm here to tell you, black women, this is why your asses aren't getting married. And this is why you women marry the least, is because you're the only demographic of women in the dating market that looks at your men and say, I desire you, I find you attractive, but I don't want to listen to you, and don't dare try to make me listen to you. And of course, that doesn't make any damn sense.
And aisle 7 was trying to get her number 2. So I want to know how many of them niggas she let hit. So therefore, I could either be the nigga to hit, or I could be the nigga to take you on a real date. Because I ain't taking your motherfucking ass to chops when every other nigga done chopped that pussy. So it's a good question for me to ask.
Hot dog down what?
Right, it's a hot dog down a hallway, just a swimming in the pussy. Can't do no damage. She don't even know when you started or when you finished. Anyway, you sitting up here saying these things, it makes no damn sense. You know who making these arguments? Hoes. Hoes is out here trying to make arguments and tell niggas to shift their thinking. You shouldn't care about this. But if I don't, when I buy a car, I want the Carfax report. When I get a bitch, I want the Catfax report. Let me see the Catfax. I want to know who been in this motherfucker. Why? Because I'm about to go in it. And what they want men to do is not respect themselves and their bodies. That's why if a woman asks you to put a condom on, and you be like, I don't know about this, she gonna look at you like something's wrong.
He's right. And that's why you hear so many women say, I don't want to date a guy who listens to RP content. I don't want to date a guy who listens to Kevin Samuels. I don't want to date a guy who values himself. They say these things because they missed the day when men were off balance and men weren't ready for the bullshit.
How you fellas will feel if a woman tell you, take that condom off on the first date?
They don't even ask for men to put it on anymore, do they?
Right. But you would think if you put it on and she said, take it off, you'd be like, whoa.
Bitch.
You're going to be like, how many niggas you told to take that? You're going to be like, how many niggas you told to take that condom off?
Right. It's just like me.
Huh? I think they don't understand that very few things are new under the sun. They want us to think that everything they do with us is the first time. It's only us. We're so special. It's never been done before.
Women do that. Right before they're getting ready to like do something for you, like intimate in the bedroom, they'll always say like, oh, like I actually only did this a couple of times, or they'll say like, you're the only guy that I've ever done this for, okay? So, you know, I'm just, you know, whatever. And the next thing you know, you're like wondering how she has all these skills and how in the world she can do it so well if she's never done it all these times, she says. Let's get back into the clip.
Household. That's why we are subjected to listen to someone like that young lady and think she's saying something intelligent. Niggas with a father know what she's saying is stupid immediately. Somebody tell me I'm lying. If you was raised around some men, you know what the fuck she said was ignorant. Hell, she know it was ignorant, but she know niggas like pussy, and she can talk you simp niggas in the fucking. That's all it is. You niggas like, I'm glad that Ali said it. Don't nobody give a shit about what none of these bitches been. We want to fuck them. That's it. I wouldn't ask you. I done fucked so many bitches, I don't even know what their first name is. I don't know your name, bitch, because that's not what I'm trying to do. But if it gets to the point where I want to have something serious, I'm going to ask questions. It was a shame, Ali, that she didn't understand. I used to love giving that analogy of business. How you going to tell me I should be more strict about where I put my business than where I put my penis? You a fucking idiot. No offense, young lady. I'm just saying a fucking idiot says that. Because if I put my dick in you and I get HIV, that's going to last with me forever. If I put my name on a signature for a business, bitch, I can separate that if it don't go well. As a matter of fact, black women are so fucking backwards. Think about how many black women y'all have heard say this word. They got a baby by a nigga and you ask, are y'all getting married? Nah, that's a big step. Hold up, bitch. You can get married in Vegas in a drive-thru and get divorced the next damn day. But if I get you pregnant, you stupid bitch, you got 18 years of this motherfucker. And then after that, you got to put him in the world and he could turn into Jeffrey Dahmer. But it make more sense for you to think about marrying me than reproducing with me. Only black women say stupid shit like that. And only black men listen to stupid shit like that because your mama probably was a stupid bitch like that. And she told you that stupid shit and you thought it was normal. And this is what we have to change. We have to change this thought of a lot of women. I'm not saying a lot of women shouldn't be heard. I'm just saying they shouldn't be heard. Meaning this, after a while, when you listen to somebody and they say it, and it's usually based on their feelings more than what they know and what they can prove, you shouldn't build anything with that person. You wouldn't build a house if the nigga that came to design your house said, I feel. You wouldn't build a car if the nigga said, I feel. Y'all wouldn't get on a plane when a nigga told you how he felt when he was building it. No, he better tell you what the fuck he know, because that flight gotta work. And when it comes to relationships, you can tell we don't take them seriously. Because if a woman asks you, you ever slept with a man? Imagine if you said, you shouldn't ask me that on the first date. What do you think that woman would say?
Analogy.
You did, and I'm leaving.
Hey, Tommy.
I wish we said the word.
And exactly, I'm glad the woman said that the woman would leave because, yeah, women wouldn't even wait a second. They wouldn't even hesitate. They would just move on to a guy who is clear about that answer. Let's get back into it.
It shouldn't matter. Oh, well, it shouldn't matter that me and my boys had an orgy together. We told the bitches to leave. We just started fucking each other when we was 19. But that was just because a nigga had some, a nigga had some El Himador that night. It be fucking a nigga up. But it shouldn't matter. I'm 30 now. And I'm gonna say
it's just unfair deals.
Tommy, ain't
unfair deals all across the board.
There ain't no bankruptcy that can wipe out an STD.
Right. Yes, you can't file, what was it, chapter 7?
Chapter 7 to get rid of HIV.
Clean my dick off. It's a new dick now. We can start over again. A nigga filed chapter 13 dick. It doesn't happen. So when we are asked questions, if we won't even ask, if a bitch say, well, where do you work? And we won't tell her that, she'll write that down as a reason why I don't want to fuck with this nigga. There's a lot of reasons we get written off as men, but women don't want to play that same game. They want to get the same damn thing as everybody else get. That's why old bitches now always talking shit about young bitches. I'm just as good as a young woman. No, you ain't, bitch. You ain't got no but a couple of eggs left. You 45-year-old hoe. You ain't even got enough to make an omelet. This young woman do better than you.
That made me think about Kendra G for some reason. If women think that men don't have to value body count, then they really must think that we're just mindlessly picking them and that we're really picking with our small head and we never even consider our actual brain when we're out here in the dating market making decisions. The woman actually tried to shame the man's manhood just for considering something that he needs to consider. I think this made for a good conversation. Tommy Sotomayor definitely had a barbecue. Hit the subscribe button on your way out of the room. Also, the notification bell so you're notified every single time we post content like this. I'll see you guys on the next video.